stuff in general?
We can talk about anything. We're gamers. We can talk
Oh, hey! So this is the first episode of Scratch Discs podcast and videocast and spellcast and
diecast
and diecast
and Mirrorcast if you have one of those kind of fancy televisions
and Meerkats
and Outcast
and Outcast
and diecast.
What?
Shit.
Yeah, we said that.
So
wait, do we really have to yell at that thing though?
No, we don't have to yell at it.
Okay.
No. It's just I'm being loud. I don't need to project.
Alright guys, welcome to Scratch Disc.
So welcome to Scratch Disc. We're talking about video games and other stuff.
We're getting tired at this pace.
So what? You're gonna get tired? Shit. Okay. So,
we already saw how well it picked up earlier. We know it's gonna be fine.
No, the volume's gonna be fine. But we're gonna talk over each other.
Ourselves?
We don't need to introduce ourselves anymore. Okay. So,
welcome to Scratch Disc. I'm Jared. Nice to meet you.
I'm Jared. He's Jared. I'm Jordan.
You're Jared.
Yeah, he's Jared. I'm Jordan. This is Tim.
No, I'm Jared too.
Yeah, he's just Jared, and Jared.
Yeah.
So this is our show.
Our wrestling name is Triple J.
Triple J. Fuck off. Speaking of which, wrestling's awesome. We could talk about that in another episode.
Sure.
Okay, so here was an idea I had to start off the show with a discussion point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Last of Us.
I haven't played too much of it though.
No one. Neither of you have played it.
Exactly.
I have.
I've played a bit of it.
Last of Us is coming out with a remastered edition, and it's also one of the many games that have been continuously getting put on the caliber of games good enough to be re-released once they come out.
Right.
So
the same thing that happened with Tomb Raider for some reason.
That's true. It was barely a year.
Barely a year, and we already get a remastered version of a game.
Yeah, I've already been waiting for the price to drop on fucking Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Tomb Raider, the price was really low, so I was really considering buying it, and then fucking they come out with a remastered version, which had the perverted side effect of making the price of the original copy go back up again a little bit because interest was now renewed in it.
Unless you had PlayStation Plus, you got it for free
for
the PS3 version.
Yeah.
So here's the angle I'm going at with this.
Yeah.
So three-part question: is it too soon for a re-release of Last of Us? Do you care that there's a re-release of Last of Us, seeing as how you already have a PlayStation 3? You don't. And you were thinking about getting a PlayStation 4.
I mean, I have my roommates.
Yeah.
But I don't use it.
And the last part of it is it worth doing at this point in the game when you can still go out and buy the PS3 version?
Sorry.
Well, no. I was going to say, before we really begin, we need to set one rule, an order of discussion. People have to speak in order so that we don't just kind of mash and...
Wait, but if we're talking about wrestling... I'm sorry, this actually is relevant to your point, though.
We keep going on to
even though I am interrupting you, I'm saying that...
This is going to be a wrestling blog. I can fucking do that shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying...
I'm the wrestling guy here.
Because of the open-ended nature of the show and our topics and the way that we want things to sort of organically progress, rules of discussion might be a little bit unwarranted because we're still providing content no matter how polite we are to each other.
Order of which it begins so that someone doesn't try and start when other person's trying to start.
I'll put it this way. How about we agree to that right now?
Okay, cool.
For this discussion, we're just polite to each other.
Let's
just be nice.
All right, hold on. Spicoli and fucking ADD. Shut up. Let's
I'm
get
Mahoney.
to the thing.
I'm Mahoney.
Mahoney!
Mahoney. But what I was going to say, the era of which the game was originally released, which was the beginning of the next gen.
Not even a year ago.
Yeah.
Xbox One and PS4 being ready to be released and people getting interested in reserving their copies. They actually would have been looking forward to a pushback version that was released for the console for the sake of better gameplay, better graphics, better multiplayer. All this stuff is supposed to be better.
Yeah. Well, would you wait if there was a better install base on one console versus the other? The install base, given that the PlayStation 4 is sold 3 million, 5 million units now?
Right.
A shitload of units. Would you rather wait to release it on a console that is not necessarily fortified and grounded yet, and it was all speculation of how well it would do, or would you release it on a console that you knew that already has an install base?
Well, you do make a good point, yes, but...
Because that's all people look at is install base.
Yeah, but
that's why games are still coming out for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.
Well, the whole premise and idea of something being next generation is it's going to be better. Everything about the gameplay is going to be better. It's going to be smoother. Things are going to look better, look crisper, be more fluid. It's going to be more of an immersive type of game. And this game was released right there at the cusp where that was beginning again, another era of consoles. So I did expect it. What was another game? like, damn, I'm having a brain fart now that I think about it. But anyways, moving on.
Don't help.
It should have. Shut up. It should have.
It's a good thing he's not smoking any.
Just happened anyway, but I expected it.
Yeah.
I think that generally speaking, if you look at different periods in time, then re-releasing things so soon after the original release is kind of unnecessary. The only reason why I'm not really upset about it right now with these specific games in particular is because of the timing of that, because it was on the cusp of the generation change with systems.
Yeah.
I feel like if this shit happens like 2 or 3 years into it, or if this had happened more often with other games like 4 or 5 years ago, it would be really irritating as a consumer to see this happen.
Yeah.
But we are looking at... Because we saw the same thing happen in 2005. We saw games coming out on previous generation systems that...
Oh yeah, like why am I going to buy an Xbox 360 when I can buy FIFA in 2010
Exactly.
on PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a
Right.
facetious dick.
Yes.
But I'm just
You're
saying.
absolutely correct.
Yeah,
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But like you remember, let's take for example Splinter Cell Double Agent. All right, Splinter Cell Double Agent came out on so many goddamn systems, and it was because it was
And that was
around
shitty
the-
watered down when they came out on the fucking PSP.
oh god, yeah, that wasn't even technically
that was Splinter Cell
Double Agent, that was
Essentials.
Essentials, yeah.
Yeah, which was like a bunch of like mismatches of fucking.
It was such a watered down version of Double Agent that they didn't even call it Double Agent anymore.
Yeah, they were like, this is back down to singular agent, or maybe half an agent, or
that game-
a foreign agent.
That game was released another one of those eras, though. So, for marketing of the game itself, for guaranteeing sales, guaranteeing players, it had to be put on all of the above.
All right, so that's the angle of, is it too soon? Okay, so
is it too soon? Right now, no.
yeah.
Actually, I'd say there's been plenty of time for firmware updates. There's been plenty of time to get the system working, and they've had enough time for coding the game. They were probably working on that in development.
Naughty Dog talked about that. They were working on the game for the PS4 upgrade, like since the game came out.
Yeah.
Now, I am the only one here who's played it and beaten it.
True.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing.
I've witnessed the game, but I haven't played it myself.
Okay,
it's
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, of all the PlayStation 3 games I've played, it is the most fucking beautiful game that I have played on the system.
It's a good looking game. It's a good looking game.
Amazing looking game. Metal Gear Solid 4 might be the only closest thing to it.
I am kind of in Journey's camp on this.
Journey was just really cool because of how minimalistic it was, and it really did a lot of really cool things with being minimalistic.
Yeah, I guess that's I'll concede that.
Journey's on a pedestal that like nobody will ever deny or shut down. That game is just shit. We can go on for another like 45 minutes about how awesome that game is. But anyways,
Uncharted 3.
What's going on, Bert? Uncharted 3, beautiful fucking game, but
also
not
Naughty Dog, but
also Naughty Dog, but not Last of Us pretty. Like Last of Us,
Really?
it was fluid.
Good looking
It was smooth. The lighting effects are amazing. The character animation, everything about it was just really put together really, really well. My only gripe with the game is the seldom parts where you're sneaking around and your AI components, like your teammates, are just frantically running around in front of things,
making no sense. Yeah,
and it doesn't affect anything. But that totally pulled me out of the immersion of the game. Like if there was a way that like the PS4 version can fix that, I dude, perfect version.
Yeah.
If you can make it to where like, hey, shit, I gotta hide.
Yeah.
Make the AI hide.
Yep.
Not run in front of a clicker.
If the AI moves in front of the obvious point of vision.
Yeah.
I feel like if
they should be alerted, from the AI being stupid.
I feel like that's a problem that will go through to the next generation.
It probably will. I mean, it's just getting upgraded by graphics or whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, so that part's done. If both of you had PS4s, would you buy the game as a PS3 game, or would you wait to buy it now there's going to be a better released version of the game?
For the sake of performance, I'd buy next gen.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
I would.
Yeah.
Sake of performance. And not to mention, one thing I did want to say in regards to graphics, on PS,
because they're so important.
On PS3, the display of age for the characters.
But yeah.
Because it's one of those games where it begins and has something something happens and then it jumps to the future, and maybe I don't remember if there's recaps, but anyways, you see characters grow and you see characters age, and you can tell people are distinguishable not only by their features but the graphics compensate for age too. Like
I remember Assassin's Creed was pretty vigilant about that kind of thing too.
Yeah.
Especially in the Ezio, the Ezio games. Those ones.
Yeah.
that was an epic looking beard. That was good CG beard.
CG beard.
CG beard.
It's all about CG beard. You know, CG beard. We can get good CG beards, but we can never get good CG hair.
Yeah.
Like CG hair is just never going to work.
The CG beard.
Yeah.
Always sharp.
You can blame WWE games for the jankiest hair physics that you will ever see in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
WWE 2K14 is like. Okay, it's a great wrestling game, but the visual presentation is utter shit.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics look dumbed down. Nobody, like, you have the engine for NBA 2K, like, behind you, making a wrestling game. The game should look fucking flawless. It should look perfect. Every character you see should look exactly like they do, but they do the same thing where they do aged characters. Like, they'll have, like, you know, The Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H from, like, you know, the early 90s to them today and, like, try to age them appropriately, but they end up just looking like big action figures instead of what they're supposed to look like. And
the Bendables.
Yeah. The old Jack Specific figures that only moved this way.
The wire body on the inside of the rubber.
I have 6 of them up there.
On a sad note, I had one of those, and the only one of those that I had was Ultimate Warrior.
You know, fuck, I have an Ultimate Warrior tattoo, but no Ultimate Warrior action figures.
I think I might still have mine.
How fucked up that is.
Honestly,
I wasn't allowed to have a stretch Armstrong.
I'm just going to give it to you.
I would appreciate it, because, I mean, I got my big 5 up there. Well, Mankind I took out to show him something.
Yeah.
Mankind,
guy
Taz,
in the corner. There's a guy in the corner.
Yeah, this guy in the corner. Mankind, Taz, New Jack, Stone Cold, The Rock, and I think someone else is... No, okay, that's all I got up there.
Now, see, what I used to do when I was playing with my toys, because I had one of that line of Duke Nukem 3D action figures. I had of that line.
Oh yeah, I remember when you did those.
2 Duke Nukems. One of them was like this weird fucking like battle bloody Duke that had like blood spattered on his face, and he had a black one. That one's he had a black tank top. That one is still in good condition. I still have that Duke. But I
remember when there was a period of time where you could only find the pigmen.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Oh God,
that was it.
The pig cops were everywhere. I had one of the octobrains with like the jelly brains, but what was it? All the legs, the rubber legs all dry rotted off, and the brain sack kind of like popped, so it's brain. It basically looked like Duke Nukem got a hold of it.
What's funny is before I started working at KB Toys, there was a line of Resident Evil 2 action figures that came out.
Those were pretty good.
Those were really cool.
Yeah.
But I went and bought like some of the dumb ones, like, you know, the zombie that came with dogs.
Yeah.
Or like a really, really haggard like figure that they made of the Tyrant.
Yeah, and there
was no, it wasn't the Tyrant. Tyrant was in 1. Mutation was in 2.
Yeah.
It was so it was like a really haggard version of the Mutation, but it wasn't like the one, like, because there was 2 of them. There was one that was like just the standard big fucking mutated guy. And then there was the other one where it actually transformed into like the big dog face thing.
Yeah, the G-Virus.
The G-Virus
the alternate boss.
Yeah. So I bought the dumb one and the zombie, and I went home and I opened them up and took them out of the box, and I was like, I wasted money. I took it back and was like, I want my money back. I know I opened them, but I don't fucking need these.
But I think that was
Can I buy a video game instead?
I think that was the better boss of Resident Evil 2. Tyrant already happened in the first one. And I appreciate the recreation of it, but having an alternate boss that felt like a true ending, becoming an entire fucking train as they're trying to escape.
Look, I love Resident Evil, but I don't know what the definitive boss of Resident Evil could be. Because there's a lot of awesome characters in Resident Evil, and a lot of awesome... Huh?
It's a boulder.
I'm going to smack you in the teeth.
Which one was this?
No, he was talking about the boulder in 5. Like, look, the boulder thing in 5 was silly.
No, but see, here's
the boulder. I heard to boulder. What is that?
Gibraltar? What?
I heard something completely different. The
no, okay. But, here's the thing. Like, okay, so, if you want to look at, like, iconic characters, are you just going to eat the whole fucking time?
No.
So, iconic characters, Resident Evil, the Licker.
Yeah, Lickers are fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
yes.
The dogs. The dogs are fucking terrible. I think the dogs are scarier than the fucking zombies.
Yeah, they called them Cerberus.
Yeah. No, not just the ones that jump through windows.
The Dobermans.
Yeah, the Dobermans. Yeah. Those things are
The classification for him was called Cerberus.
Yeah, when you look in the fucking monsters.
Yeah.
In my monster manual.
I was all about that shit, man. All about that shit.
Oh, dude, they were fun as shit to read.
Oh, yeah. In the 90s, they were even fucking colored in.
Itchy, scratchy, hungry, tasty was one of the journal entries. With the guy transforming into a fucking zombie.
It wasn't itchy, scratchy, hungry, tasty. It was just itchy, tasty.
Something like that.
Itchy, tasty?
Yeah, it was itchy, tasty.
I remember there being more to it, though, for some reason. I don't know why.
It was the final entry of one scientist's journal, and so this scientist had a journal of, like, his entries were as he was becoming more and more infected. So he was just like, it started off, he was talking about his research and about, like, shit going on in the mansion. And then he was just like, oh, I got bitten. And then the next couple entries later, he was just like, my coworker something, ugly face, so killed him.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. He starts kind of like slowly diverting into like a cavemanic kind of state.
His last entry was itchy tasty because at that point he was a total zombie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, dude, there's people I know who have played Resident Evil 1 and have still not fucking attempted to walk out the main door of the mansion.
Really?
Yeah. Like, that was like the first thing I tried to do. Was
can
I go outside the mansion? And then the fucking dogs jump at you, and you're like,
you only get the animation once.
That was the
you get it one time.
first thing that I did when I played that game.
Same.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I was 9 years old when I first played it.
I was 20.
Okay, I was 9 years old when I first played Resident Evil 1.
Well, I first witnessed it at 7, and it was life-changing.
Yeah, okay. So I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
The first thing that happened was it was my neighbor who had a copy of the game, and I went to her house to play it. Yeah, her house. Went to her house to go play it. And, dude, she had fucking spoiled fucking rich parents, and they, like, bought her every fucking game she wanted.
That's cool.
And for some reason, she wanted Resident Evil. And I mooched off that chick like a motherfucker.
I would have, too. I would have as well.
Anyway, so I went over, and we both started playing the game together. Like, she was playing it. No. She started to play it, got too scared, wanted me to play it, and I was like, I'll play it, because she wanted to watch me play it. So I try to walk out that main doorway, and, like, the dog, jumps out at you and fucking freaks you out. Oh, spoiler alert if you haven't played a 20-year-old game.
Get the director's cut.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so, that happens, and we're both like, shit! And we're, like, completely terrified. And then when you walk, after the whole, segment of Jill being the master lockpick, I walk around the fucking corner into that room where the zombie bites the dude's head off.
Yeah.
And looks back at you, and we both just slammed simultaneously our hands on the power button of the PlayStation and, like, shut it off, and we were like, fuck this. Yeah. It took me a year to go back to finally play the game again, because I'm such a little bitch. But once I finally went back and played it, it was, like, the best fucking experience I had, and I love survival horror games ever since.
You know what? That moment specifically defined what the gameplay mechanic for the entire series was supposed to be, because right after that little cinematic, you see your character back up, you can't see the zombie anymore. You know it's walking towards you.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking camera angle, you can't see it, and that's the entire point of the game. It was fixed cameras, you running through, because your vision's so skewed. See, it's scary as hell.
Shinge Megami made a really good use of the limitations of the system and found a way to really make that fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Because that's all it was. It was like, well, we can't have full 3D with a game with all these pre-rendered backgrounds or whatever the excuse is.
The excuse was they were fucking poor as shit when they made the game.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But it works.
Yeah, we had this many yen, we yenned that game, that's it.
Yep.
But there's
a lot of poor companies began with PlayStation and became rich.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like that game is a testament to, like, what indie developers should be doing right now, which is just keep making the game you want to fucking make. Because there's, like, I mean, I've seen a lot of people talk about this and a lot of journalists talk about it. About like the indie gaming scene right now versus the AAA scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How many AAA games have you gone out of your way to buy in the last year, and how many indie games have you just downloaded because you could? The number is kind of skewed.
I've dropped beyond AAA. I do mainly indies actually. Now I think about, and third party and other companies that we don't know about or never heard of before.
Still tend to buy AAA games, but that's because of my buying habit of waiting until things like, I don't even consider purchasing a game until it's like $10 or so, and at that point, like, I'll still spend $60 on when I go to a game store, but I'm getting 6 games.
Well, like okay, so the last what was the last AAA game I bought? I guess Second Son would be the last AAA game I bought for PS4.
Okay.
So I bought that, and I bought the glorified demo of Ground Zeroes. And
that game still like it has me so like confused.
Yeah, it's like
it's so good, but god fucking damn it, like
Metal Gear Ground Zeroes is like getting molested by a teacher. Because they hold on.
It has to be a hot teacher though.
It's just a teacher. There's no level of hotness here or not. It's just getting like you're in school. She flicks your bean, and it's really uncomfortable. That's what Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is, because it's
Pinto.
like
no,
it's not my Pinto bean. Because like, dude, okay, so you know this person is teaching you things. You know they're a trusted, like source of authority.
You thought
right?
so.
You thought so, and then they're just kind of like just take from you. They just kind of invade your space and give you something. But we're not gonna go off on a tangent about Metal Gear because we shouldn't.
They go into your kitchen, they open your cupboard, and they take your roasted nuts.
Me and this dude have days worth of Metal Gear related shit,
and I have nothing. So
there isn't a cloud on the internet that can store the amount of shit we could talk about this game.
But if there was, I guarantee you the Patriots would censor the fuck out of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the last thing we need is the philosophers to come up and put all the data you fucking put on the cloud onto a fucking disk and have some little girl take it away.
Yeah. That's exactly,
Who, if you hadn't played the game, that went over your head.
Yeah.
And you're probably
exactly
95% of the people who complained about the length of the game. Because you haven't played the game and it went over your head. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
I know, because you talked about this before, but I had no input.
But yeah, okay, so I buy Second Son.
Metal Gear Ground Zeroes was like getting charged to play the Hitman 2 Silent Assassin demo.
No, Metal Gear's longer than that.
Yes, but I'm saying it's not substantially longer. All right, the Hitman 2 Silent Assassin level was the anathema, however the fuck you pronounce that word. It was that level. It was the first level of Hitman 2, and there were so many ways to complete that level, and there were like dozen or so guards or something. I mean, yeah, Ground Zeroes it covers more ground, has more, but I'm saying that as far as length of time, the Hitman 2 demo could take you maybe an hour. Ground Zeroes would take you maybe like 2 hours. And yet the difference...
To full completion, it could take you 10.
Right, but the same is also true of the Hitman 2 Silent Assassin demo. I'm saying that...
Yeah, I know. It's all... It's all relative.
And yet the difference is going from
game.
like $0 to $30 in one purchase flat.
I mean, I don't really have a problem with spending $30. I know people do, but on my side of things is like there was nothing coming out at the time either, so it's not like my money was getting spent on anything worthwhile at the time either. Well, so it literally just came out at a really good time for me to not care about spending $30 on something I knew was going to be short, but I also knew I wanted to replay a bunch of times.
Actually, that brings up something that I definitely think should be discussed, is the price and value of games. This Ground Zeroes would cost how much?
30 bones,
$30
next gen.
It's
$20 if you want a digital copy.
From 2005 standpoint, like, is this a full game? Like, imagine if this was a game produced in 2005, you think it would have been the same length? Or shorter?
No.
Where's Waldo on the NES was a $60 video game, and it was a 5-minute game.
That's a crime.
It exists, though. It existed. There are games that came out for the N64, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox, that were $50 games that you could beat in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, but
that were short.
They probably didn't. Well, there's got to be exceptions.
But that also didn't go out of their way like Kojima did to say, hey, the game is short. I'm letting you all know the game is ridiculously short. If you want it, buy it. If you don't, don't. That's the difference between what was done in the past with buy our game, holy shit, it's a 4-hour campaign that I spent $60 for, versus, hey, this is a short game and a taste of what you can do, but we have it filled with content for you to enjoy.
Now, see,
but I'm warning you, it's short.
I'm looking at that more as, it's not so much that I spent $30 on Ground Zeroes, as it is that I spent $90 on the Phantom Pain. speaking in the future tense.
Yeah, but it's speaking in the future tense. But by the time you look at the future tense, the money that you spent will not be a factor anymore. Like, it's non-existent.
Oh, no, this could be to somebody.
I mean, if you really want to, like, count your fucking pennies, like, I think
it's important that people should.
I would have had 50 more cents than I did 10 years ago when I bought that fucking oversized pickle at the carryout.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you want to think that way, then you're just gonna fucking run yourself ragged.
No, that's not true at all. I think that this might be a case of a company banking on us being frivolous with our spending, so that we end up buying something that's not really worth the money we paid for it, and they want us to not care.
I don't know if it's about us not caring. I think it's more about us being... There's two things. There's people being complacent about the money they spend, and the people that are being way too fucking precautious about the money they spend. To the point where now... here's the thing. A few years ago, remember when everyone was fucking pirating games and having modded Xboxes and modded PlayStations to just steal games because they're like, well, it's not worth me paying for, but it's shitty enough for me to want to play and steal instead of giving money to the company that fucking made it.
Yeah.
So... we kind of fucked ourselves as a collective. I never did it. No, yeah. I never did it. You never did it. You never did it. But I'm saying as a collective group, the 5 of us that will still go out and buy a game and be like, fuck, this game sucked, or not buy it because we actually did the fucking research like a grown-up would, and we didn't buy the shit, and we wait for the price to go down. Other people are like, oh, this game's shitty, I'm gonna steal it and play it, and then complain about it being shitty. Even though I stole it. Yeah. I'm not gonna rob a guy, take his wallet, and be like, you fuckstick, you had $4 in there?
And then just
go away. It's like, here's your wallet back. Go get me some more money.
Yeah.
And then I'll rob you later. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think, like, the main thing is, with the way the gaming industry has gone, as far as, like, what they can get away with, is because they're fucking trying to make every fucking dollar they can because we stole so much from them in the last fucking 8 years as a collective. Not all of us have done it, but there is a large amount of people who have fucking taken immense control over their spendings in a negative way by just saying, I won't pay for it, I'll steal it.
Right, but the question is the gaming
Downfall
industry...
of Dreamcast, yeah, like you could pirate anything on a Dreamcast.
Well, go ahead.
Well, not also the downfall of that, I
was about to say, the Dreamcast also came out after the Saturn, you know, I'm saying...
The Saturn debacle of people not even knowing when the Saturn was coming out, and stores didn't know how to shelve it, and coming out a year prior to the PlayStation 2 that everyone already was solid that they were buying.
The other thing is that Sega had sort of, like, with the Sega CD and the Saturn and stuff, they had sort of, they had lost... They had made themselves look bad to their consumers.
They blew their load after the Genesis. That was the thing. It's like, once the Genesis came out, blew their fucking load, and you know, the like Voltron-esque Sega you had to have at the end of the Sega Genesis's life was like...
That is such a good comparison.
Dude, it's like you have to attach the left leg, the right leg, thank you.
No, it's funny.
And I hate Voltron, so I hate using that reference.
When I was playing Peace Walker and I was adding on like pieces to Zeke, that's actually what I was thinking of. I was thinking of putting together attachments on a Dreamcast. I was like, so you guys...
Yeah. It's like you gotta put on 32X.
China thrusters. Go.
Yeah.
The only attachment I have for it is the 32X. I'm not sure that even if I found a CD, I would want to get one just because they're so finicky and in such bad repair usually.
Well, they have one at Pandora's if you want to go get one. They're $130, brand new in the box.
That's a lot of money. But hey, Pandora's, support your local economy. Buy a Pandora's Cube because it's a family-owned business and it's awesome.
It is. Shit, we went off.
You buy anime too?
You can buy anime. You can buy books.
Mostly anime.
You can get those mangas.
Hey, if you're looking for someone to talk about technical poem with, you might be able to find someone there and you get a good suggestion.
Okay, so we went far off topic about that, about how I was saying that, like, I think, like...
But what I was trying to get to is $30 for a game that's on a next-gen console. That's actually quite fair. I mean, yes...
shit, we were talking about this.
Yeah. We kind of went on a little detour for a minute.
This is a game that, yes, it's a
taste...
taste...
you suck at Halo.
It's a taste of a game that's not out yet. basically, right? It's a taste of a game that's not complete, but it's from what I've heard you guys talk about, like not only here but elsewhere in our normal lives. That happens for some reason.
The game is titty balls. I mean, it's for the money.
It
plays amazing
as a game.
You played it. It's a game.
Yeah, it's very well constructed, but it's created with the same intent that something like a movie trailer is.
Yeah.
It's like it's only there to sell you the sequel.
I beat Limbo.
The fact that it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it's so good is sort of an accident. Like it's worth Ground Zeroes is worth the money.
Yeah.
It's just at the same time I don't like its intentions.
Yeah. I mean, you can not like its intentions all you want to, but okay, so
and I don't.
Well, I don't know what other noise to make. But okay, like look at it this way. Like, okay, Limbo. I beat Limbo in less time than it took me to beat Metal Gear.
Right.
Limbo's a $15 game.
True.
Metal Gear's a $30 game.
True.
Limbo, you beat it, you know all the puzzles. There's no replayability except for getting through it faster. That's it. You know, Metal Gear...
You can try to find the eggs and stuff.
Yeah, there's little...
You can go for completionist.
You can go for completionist. Right. Same thing with Metal Gear. You beat it, you can go for completionist. You can go for the everything. There's a lot you can do, but there's... Like, people get so butthurt when they see something and they see a price tag on it now. And like I said, I hate this fucking attitude of gamers nowadays because it's like, you see a price tag, you need a value, you need to value your fun based off of the price tag, as opposed to 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, when people were just like, oh, the value of this game's good, I'm just gonna fucking steal it. And then you lose, like, 95% of developers that have been around, and now you have, like, people barely struggling to keep their fucking development houses open, making an indie game for you that is way better than half the fucking games you're buying anyway. Like, Don't Starve is awesome. Outlast is fucking awesome. Gone Home is amazing. Have either of you played Gone Home yet?
No.
Oh, you need to Gone Home and go play it. When we're done with this. Oh, pun, sucker!
Can I have a little drum kit just for that?
You just got Dan to make a noise.
I did. Dan made his first noise.
You're in the podcast now!
Yeah.
I told you, it's Dan in the corner. He has his own little segment where he gets frustrated because he's trying to play the TV.
Well, he's trying to play Halo and he's losing miserably.
Play the TV.
How are you letting them get 2 flags up on you and capture the flag? Come on, man.
It's neutral flag.
It's neutral flag? Oh, well, never mind. Fuck it. Anyway, yeah, any who's.
Oh shit, you have a gun in your hand. I couldn't see through the camouflage.
But yeah, no, like, it's
$30.
$30 for something you can sit down and enjoy and play. Yes, it's a big glorified fucking demo, but so is any fucking indie game you buy that only lasts you 30 to fucking minutes to an hour.
But let's talk about how...
I made a game with zombies in it.
Let's talk about how...
Fuck games with zombies. I'm tired of zombies being the...
It's its own game.
No, I'm just saying. Like, no, it's called Game with Zombies?
I made a game with zombies in it.
Dude, fuck every game with zombies in it from here on out. Like, I'm tired of zombies as a fucking go-to enemy in a game.
It's overplayed.
If it's Castlevania, I'll take a zombie. If it's
a low-class enemy in that case.
It's a low-class enemy.
It's like a rat in Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
You know what's going to fucking happen.
Give me that. I'm tired of, like, the, zombie apocalypse game.
And then maybe you have one super epic zombie boss, like, later in the game that you're like, oh, I forgot the zombies were in this game. And it turns out to be kind of badass. Like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, the zombie games now is the World War II epidemic of games we had in the PlayStation 2 Xbox era.
Holy
Medal of Honor.
No, there's so many. There were all of them. And then there was Shell Shock that popped out, and they're like, we're a Vietnam game. We're different. No, fuck you. You're the same.
Yeah,
the same shit.
Yeah. No, but then once around the same time of Shell Shock, they also had Viet Cong.
The fuck kind of noise was that?
Yeah, a loud one. But they also had like Viet Cong, and those games were also. I mean, they had this brief surge of Vietnam games, and then they stopped them. I don't know. Vietnam games are so fucking uncomfortable. All right.
How? I mean, any war game should be uncomfortable to you.
Yeah, but I'm saying the reason that World War II games were so numerous and still are
generally
frankly.
accepted because you had to kill Nazis.
Yes, but also because people have this. Our country has this glorified version of how America was in World War II. They have this glorified view of the entire war. They figure Nazis bad, Americans good, and they sort of lose sight of the fact that the whole war is actually a horrible thing. But Vietnam,
and then when you get to Vietnam, it's like no one's actually a good person in that whole situation.
Like even if you try to portray America as like being the 100% good guys and the Viet Cong as 100% the bad guys, our culture still remembers that Vietnam was just really shitty and unpopular.
Lake Tonkin, just saying.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Anyway, that's
politics.
Woo! We're not getting into that on this.
Politics.
Hey, hold on. Now, why should we not get into? I know. But politics they are a part of our culture, and our culture does inform the games that we play.
No, the thing is, when video games and politics coincide, it's because a politician is trying to get some kind of fanfare on his side of how video games are terrible for people.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact...
a video game like gives you like an insight on something that like is politically driven that you should be paying attention to, but you do through the medium of the game.
I'm saying that games are one of many ways that our culture can reflect the world.
Oh yeah, totally.
And so, like, you know, like we were able to see the difference between why there are so many World War II games versus so few Vietnam games. It's just like, well, that's why.
And why, you know, I
why
don't
are
feel
there so many desert shooters though?
Yeah, it's like why I like playing Stretch Panic. I like flicking a titty. I'm the only one in this room who's played that game.
No, you're not.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
That game is fucking weird.
Crazy.
Oh, okay. Fuck, we went off topic again. So
$30. Games should be less money for today's standards if you really think about yes, it's on a Blu-ray. How much do Blu-ray movies cost? Maybe the most.
$20 to $30.
And guess what's paired with a fucking DVD? So they threw a DVD in there to.
No, they didn't.
Like, the technology took a lot of money to produce, but plastic is
where it's like it's a Blu-ray and you also get a DVD copy. And
you I thought you meant they put a DVD in with Metal Gear, and I was like, that'd be cool. Like, yeah, but I can have a DVD of all the 10-minute cutscenes.
You buy a Blu-ray movie for maybe $30 the most, and you're getting multiple formats of the game. I mean, the movie, so that you can watch it on whatever.
Yeah.
And these games, they've been priced so high for so long. The hardware's better.
It's not the first time N64 games were $70.
I know. At one point, but
people love to forget about that, which is hilarious.
It's sad. It's sickening, but
UFC on N64 was fucking $70.
Oh my god!
But these games for this economy,
Glover $70.
Yeah,
that's a real crime.
Gex 64.
Wait, was Glover really? Now Gex 64 was awesome. No, wait, it's not $70 awesome. But wait,
$75.
Were all those games really that much? Because I don't remember.
Toys R Us had plenty of games that were third-party games, mostly that were $74 to $70 on the N64, and that's mid-90s $70. Yeah, that's a pretty penny.
That was a lot. That was pretty drastic.
But anyway, so like
games should cost less. Games should really cost less.
Well, here's the thing, and again, it all comes to like. The broad consensus of everyone saying that the game is fucking worthless because of how much money it is and how much time you have in the game and how much time is there, it's all subjective because the amount of time that you play it and enjoy it is up to you and to decide whether or not the money is worth it for you. To me, playing Titanfall for 60 bones is not worth the fucking money to play an online-only game.
Nope.
I don't own any game that is online-only because once in a while, my internet shits the bed.
Yeah.
And it not just shits the bed, it full-blown diarrhea dookies the thing.
Yeah.
Like...
diarrhea dookie butts.
Yeah, like, you could never clean that out of the
Angry video
mattress.
game nerd, shout out.
Yeah. Wait, no.
This game sucks diarrhea dookie butts.
You said diarrhea dookie butts. I just said diarrhea dookie.
Yeah.
And fuck that fucking piece of shit.
There goes half our audience.
Whatever. If you still watch the Angry
Video... It was really nice while you guys were here.
If you still like the...
I tried to give you a shout out.
If you're in your 20s and you still like the Angry Video Game Nerd, reassess your shit.
Yeah. But anyways. I think they should cost less. I mean, there's so much more time for people to make these games, and they have to pay their employees and stuff, but...
It costs double what it used to make a fucking video game nowadays because of the technology. That's why the indie games are thriving. But
$60 for a game that is, like, for example, like you said, Titanfall, it's multiplayer only. I don't want to pay full price for a game that I'm only going to be able to play with like other people that either I don't know or I know, and
how many people do you know who own it?
Two, to be honest. I know two people. Who
I don't know anyone who's bought it. Anybody?
Bought what?
Titanfall.
Brandon.
Yeah, and Wes.
Okay,
That's
Brandon and Wes.
Yeah, and you know that dude that said that you should be hit by a bus?
Oh, that little dildo?
Yeah.
He should be hit by a bus.
Oh, you mean the guy with the fucking terrible Pegasus tattoos on his fucking chest?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That fucking nub. Yeah. Story for another day. But yeah. You know, that's the other thing too. Fucking anyone who's bought it, like, I feel shitty for anyone who's bought an Xbox One fresh off the jump. Like,
Ooh.
I am not an Xbox or a PlayStation fanboy anymore, but god damn it if the content on the Xbox is lacking like shit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Compared to what's on the PlayStation. Like the PlayStation, yeah, it's a bunch of here's some games that are all like fucking nothing on like the grand scale. There's no AAA games coming out regularly, but you have a bunch of indie games that are filling the void for you. And most of the time they give them to you for free if you're a PlayStation Plus member, which you have to be to own a play online on a PlayStation 4. It's like, I don't know, it's like it took Sony a long time to realize what they were doing was shitty and finally kind of do things back for the people who are supporting them. It took 5 years for them to finally fucking do that. But once they did, it was like, hey, here's free games every month. If you own a PlayStation, if you own a Vita, if you own a PSP, if you own a PlayStation 4, you're going to get free shit every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Done deal! Like, I don't know where else to go from there. Like,
You guys have a few minutes left.
how many minutes do we got left?
You have like 3.
3 minutes.
We may want to cut off because if the timer's set for 45, then...
Yeah. Okay, well, anyway. So, closing statements. I don't know.
Alright, so
Okay.
let's reiterate.
Reiterate.
Last of Us, the next gen, I think is a go. I think that should happen.
Last of Us is totally a go.
I'm not against it this time because of where we are in the evolution of consoles.
Yes.
Different
Not
time
against
would
it.
be,
Yeah. Different time.
It's not
would
Doom
be totally
BFG,
wrong.
which was actually pretty good, but it's just...
No, it wasn't pretty good because they took the fucking multiplayer aspect out of it, so fuck it for doing that.
No, Doom BFG was good because they took things out, but then again, they took things out of what would have been the Xbox core.
Co-op is gone.
Your co-op is gone, except...
The best part of the game!
Here's the thing. It was $40, and it had so much content in it.
It does have a lot of content, but it doesn't have co-op.
And
That's
that's a single
true.
player experience, so you can play it whenever, if you have internet or not.
Yeah, but the only way you can play Doom co-op now is if you have 2 fucking original Xboxes or 360s hooked in a LAN. And that's the only way you can do it now, which is still cool, but like, I would have loved for that to be in the fucking game.
Alright,
But
Anyway.
that's more of a missed opportunity than
That's
a
true.
like shysting.
Alright, and then next thing was...
It's sort of like
Oh.
It's sort of like when they made the Splinter Cell collection for PS3 and they completely omitted Chaos Theory's co-op mode.
Yeah, that was shitty.
But at the
Because
same
the
time,
co-op
it's
mode
like
is so
3
much
fucking
fun.
games. Like, I don't care.
Because I love playing the co-op mode online and being able to yell into the microphone to like fuck up the other person where they were.
I
was
just like slamming the door open.
No,
with the other
dude,
person.
like real quick, buddy of mine. There was one time we were playing it online together on Xbox Live, and like he took ammo when he knew I needed it, and I was like, dude, I really need this ammo, and we're like, there's people around, so we're whispering, and I was like, he took all the ammo, and like yelled it, and like when I yelled it, the guard immediately runs that way and kills him, and he's like yelling at me over the microphone, and we had to start the whole mission over from scratch.
Ass dick on my team is...
Okay, so
Anyway,
that was fun.
So, yeah. But so that was the angle we went on. About Last of Us, totally good. That is coming out.
Yeah, and then wrestling games not having good hair.
Wrestling games not having good hair. The Licker being the creepest boss in fucking Resident Evil.
Creepiest enemy.
Creepiest enemy. Creepiest enemy in Resident Evil. Technically a boss the first time you meet him.
Sort of, yeah. What else are we talking about?
Gex 64 not being worth $74.
Yeah.
Still good though.
Still good though. Still good. Now $74 good. Like how Conker's Bad Fur Day isn't $90 good because of the prices on eBay.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Shit. We can go on forever about this. But anyway, we're Scratch Disc. Thanks for watching. Your disc is dirty and it may be cleaned before you can play this game again. Anyway,
Yep.
so thank you for watching. We'll have another video up hopefully in the next week or so.
Bye.
Subscribe and comment and talk shit to us because we're